Hello YouTube and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Elden Ring and we're doing another weapon guide, and today is the top 5 best fists, so the fist weapon class in the game. Definitely a lesser used class, but I think they're actually kind of fun. Maybe not the best weapons in the game, but pretty fun to use, especially with the right builds. So we're just going to dive on in, like always, and start off with number 5, the Clinging Bone. So you can see I've got them on my hands right here. They're a pretty weird looking weapon. It looks like a skeleton hand that's gripping onto your hand, and then you stab people with the broken off arm bone pieces. Pretty weird looking weapon. As far as stats on this bad boy go, we have a max attack power of 658 and an average guarded damage negation of 23. Attributes required to use this one are 8 for strength, 22 for dexterity, and 16 for arcane, so this one has an arcane requirement. This one cannot be upgraded with Ashes of War, and it does not have any passive effects, but it does have the Lifesteal Fist special ability that can be pretty effective if used correctly. So as far as getting this weapon goes, it's a process that can be done decently early in the game as long as you're up for a fight. Basically, you're going to want to make your way over to the Liurnia region and follow the left side here until you come up and around into the village of the Albinaurics. And once you get up here, so you can see I'm right next to the site of grace, you'll come up that path. You're going to want to go up this hill. Avoid getting killed by that guy. And then you're going to want to make it behind these houses. So you can see there's a couple houses here that we're going to go right past. And then right here in this spot, you'll find a pot. It looks like a large ceramic pot. All you have to do is hit it, and it will transform into a guy who will be like, please don't kill me. And then he'll give you a half of a secret medallion, which you're going to need to access a secret area later in the game. But once he's given you that medallion, all you have to do is fast travel to Round Table Hold. As soon as you arrive in Round Table Hold after getting that medallion, it will actually be dark, and you'll be attacked by Ensha. He's the guy who normally is standing outside of this room over here. So he's normally standing right there, and you can't talk to him at all. Once you've gotten that half of the medallion, and you transport here, he will attack you. And if you kill him, he will drop this weapon. So that is how you get the Clinging Bone. So as far as using this weapon and fist-type weapons in general, it really is going to depend on your playstyle. They're a brawling-type weapon. They can be very powerful if you use them correctly, and they can be decent. I shouldn't say just brawling. They can also be decent for stealth-type builds, but they're not nearly as all-purpose as a lot of weapon types. That being said, they do have basically the same moveset, so you can have light attacks, heavy attacks, jumping attacks, stealth attacks, all that sort of stuff, and you can see they deal quite a lot of damage. And now the nice thing about most fist-type weapons is I actually have 2 of them, so I am dual-wielding them right now, but if you go into two-handed mode when using them, it actually will put a set of 2 of them on. And so you can just do rapid attacks with both hands with almost every fist-type weapon. But that being said, if you have 2 of them, then you can do dual-wield attacks, which deal considerably more damage. So here, I'll just show you the dual-wielding attack. Of course, it killed that guy a little quickly, but it's just a damage boost over the initial one. But like I said, you can, in essence, dual-wield any fist-type weapon with just one of them. As far as the special attack goes... Oops, I was too far away. And so it does a stabbing damage that thrusts into the enemy's body and will suck the life out of them. Now, I had full life when I used it. Probably shouldn't have healed there. There, now I've lost some life. Let's see if I can't get it on this guy. See? So we're just going to suck the life out of him and do a bunch of damage to him. So that is number 5, the Clinging Bone. Let's move on to number 4. Alright, and so at number 4 we have the Katar, and I almost considered putting the Cypher Pada here, or Pada, the little glowing blade weapon that you can use, but it just didn't perform as well in combat as this one. Plus this one has a super high crit chance, so it's really fun to use in stealth attacks. But yeah, so the Katar at number 4, and this is based on a real-life weapon, and actually looks decently cool. It's one I enjoy. So appearance-wise, it's a cool weapon. As far as stats on this one go, we have a max attack power of 577 and an average guarded damage negation of 24.2. Attributes required to use this one are 8 for strength and 10 for dexterity. There are no passive effects, but this one does have the Impaling Thrust special attack, which is a guard-breaking lunge attack, which is pretty useful, and it can be upgraded using Ashes of War. So you can make this one pretty overpowered if you're willing to put in the time to get the Ashes of War and put them on here. So it can be a really effective weapon, and I really enjoy it. As far as getting this weapon goes, you're going to want to make your way over to the Caelid region, and then over here to Fort Gale, so you can see we're right below Gaul or Scowl Tunnel over here to the left of a stray from Caelid Highway North. So we're right here. And you're going to want to make your way up. And of course, the front gate will be closed, but you just make your way out around the outside of the castle until you're able to climb up the ladder and get in here. As far as finding this weapon goes, once you've made it up the ladder and across this beam, you're going to want to look down here, and you see there's a little raised section here next to this Lion Guardian. You're going to want to hop down there and then go inside this door, and there'll be a chest inside, which you can open up. And inside you'll find the Katar. So that's how you find it. Pretty dang easy. Again, this is going to be a weapon that you can only get once per journey. So it is possible to get more than one of them, but you're going to have to play through the game more than once, or get a friend to drop it for you or something. But yeah, that is how you get it. As far as using this one goes, the Katar is especially good as a stealth weapon because it's got that nice high crit. So again, I've just got the one equipped right now, and you can see we can just go two-handed, and you can put one on either hand, or you can just go ahead and actually equip two of them. This one, well, I'll just show you. Here's a stealth light attack. So we did 200 on the first one and then 1,000 on the follow-up. So if you do your charged stealth attack, it'll actually do 2 stabs. Here, I'll show you the impaling thrust special attack. So it just does a real powerful lunge forward and jab, which can break guards and stuff, so it's pretty dang useful. But other than that, it's going to have basically the same effects as all fist-type weapons, especially if you're able to dual-wield it. You can rapidly hit people, and it just does a lot of damage. Oops, I missed my special attack. I yoinked a bit too early. But yeah, so that is number 4, the Katar. Like I said, I definitely enjoy it. I like how it looks, and I definitely think that if you're using it, you know, appropriately, and you have the right talismans and the right build for it, it can be an extremely effective weapon type. So let's move on to number 3. All right, and so for our number 3 spot, we have the Star Fist, which, as you can see, is just a large ball that goes on your hands that has a whole bunch of spikes on it. So it's got a pretty cool weapon, and I think definitely fits with the whole theme of the brawler type build. As far as the stats on this one go, we have a max attack power of 599 and an average guarded damage negation of 26.7. This one has, for attributes required, 12 strength and 8 dexterity, so not very high there. Passive effects, we do have a blood loss build-up one on here. It's 45 points, so it's not the best, but it's pretty good. You know, it'll cause bleeding, so there's something to be thankful for. As far as our special ability with this one, we have the Endure special ability on this one. So for that, it basically just raises your poise, so you take less damage when it's active. It can be pretty dang useful. And this one can be upgraded using Ashes of War, so it's an excellent weapon in many ways and can be made even better with your Ashes of War of choice. So as far as getting this one goes, again, it's a pretty straightforward process. You're going to want to make your way to the Royal Capital, so you're going to have to either make your way up the Grand Lift of Dectus or make your way around it and get into the capital. Once you're in the capital, you make your way through until you get to the West Capital Ramparts, which you can see I am right next to. So you see, there it is. So from there, you just run along the top of this wall. Then you're going to want to go up these stairs and up around this earth ramp. And you're going to want to just keep going until you get to the far left side of this Colosseum-style building. And then you go inside here into this little section, and on this corpse, you will find the Star Fist. So that's how you get the Star Fist. So while with the first two, I could definitely see the argument for either a stealth build or a brawler attack, or a brawler style. I'd say that starting with the Star Fist, it's pretty strictly brawler. So the nice thing about these fists is, well, A, they have that bleeding ability, and B, over the last two, they seem to be pretty dang good at combat against heavier armored opponents and shields and blocks and stuff like that. Just because they're very effective, and the rapid swing speed of them makes them a lot of fun to use. As far as that special ability, like I said, we can just increase our poise, so we take less damage. So you saw how little damage I took from that spear thrust, and that is coming from someone who's not really wearing a lot of armor, pretty lightly armored in this video. So definitely effective weapons, and like I said, I just think they're fun to use. I know a lot of people probably don't ever use them just because compared to a lot of weapons in the game, like katanas and curved swords and, you know, even thrusting weapons and stuff, you can deal a lot higher damage with the same sort of swing speed. But these are fun to use, and it kind of makes you feel, especially once you're a bit later into the game and you've got your skills leveled up pretty high, it can make you feel decently powerful. Just from like a roleplay perspective, because you're going through just whomping on people, basically just with metal balls on your fists. So let's move on to number 2. Alright, and for our number 2 weapon, we have the Veteran's Prosthesis. So you can see I've got it wielded on my my hand right here. It's basically a blade-style prosthetic leg that we're using as a hand weapon. So not as cool looking as the Star Fist in my opinion, but definitely an excellent weapon stat-wise. And for stats on this one, we have a max attack power of 739 and an average guarded damage negation of 27. Attributes required to use this one are 15 for strength, 12 for dexterity. It has no passive effects and cannot be upgraded using Ashes of War, but it does have the Storm Kick special ability, which is a pretty powerful attack, and I'll show you that when we're demonstrating it. So as far as getting this one goes, it's going to be the drop for a boss fight. And you're going to have to make your way up to the mountaintops of the Giants region. And to get here, you have to defeat the first boss at the Elden Throne here in the capital, make your way up through the Forbidden Lands, up the Grand Lift of Rold, and then all the way up here to Castle Sol. And once you've made your way up to Castle Sol, it's actually a decently straightforward castle as far as they go in this game, basically like an above-ground dungeon. And at the end of it, you'll have to fight Commander Nile. And when you defeat him, he will drop this weapon. And so again, it can be done once per journey, so you can get multiples of the commander's or the veteran's prosthesis. So again, like all fist weapons, you can go two-handed if you just have one of these, and it will place one on either hand, giving you quite a bit better attack power with these fists. Basically, there's no reason not to use your fist-type weapons in two-handed mode, or you can dual-wield them. And if you do, that's just going to give you those extra powerful dual-wielding attacks. So, let's just test out these bad boys. This guy's aware of us, so we'll do a jumping strength attack. You can see we deal some lightning damage when we go, so that's always fun. We'll do our two-handed attacks on these guys over here. Or our dual wielding, I should say. But so for the special attack, it's actually a two-prong one. So it starts off by charging up and stabbing into the ground, and then you follow up with a heavy attack to do this lightning attack, this like ground pound lightning attack. So I'll show you that again. So pretty dang powerful attack that you can do with that one. Like I said, you charge it up initially by doing the initial Ashes of War ability, and then you follow up with a heavy attack. And so, pretty dang powerful. I definitely enjoy it. They're, like I said, they're great weapons. There's a reason they took my number 2 spot. You can deal just a ton of damage with these bad boys, especially if you dodge some of the attacks instead of just letting them sit there and hit you. But very effective, very fun to use. It does lightning damage while you're going, and that, again, that special ability is pretty fun. So that is number 2, the Veteran's Prosthesis. Let's move on to number 1. Alright, and so for our number 1 best fist weapon in the game, we of course have the Grafted Dragon, this tiny miniature little dragon that we get to keep on our hand. And interestingly, the only fist-type weapon that I've tested so far, and I'm pretty sure I've tested them all, that you cannot just automatically dual-wield by going into two-handed mode. You will actually have to have 2 of these if you want to dual-wield. As far as stats on this one go, we have a max attack power of 717 and an average guarded damage negation of 24.5. Attributes required to use this one are 20 for strength, 14 for dexterity, and 16 for faith. There are no passive effects, and you cannot upgrade it using Ashes of War, but it does have the Bear Witness special attack, which again is going to be pretty overpowered. So as far as stats go, this one's pretty dang good weapon. Obviously one of the best, especially when you're considering just fist type weapons, and I think it speaks for itself. As far as getting this weapon goes, it's going to be the reward for a boss fight, and it's going to be one of the first mega bosses you go up against. Maybe mega boss isn't the right word, but you know, main story bosses. And it's going to be here in the Stormvale Castle area. You're going to make your way through until you get to Godric the Grafted, and then you do a boss fight, you kill him, and afterwards you make your way out to the lake-facing cliffs. You rest at that site of grace, and your maiden, whose name escapes me, will offer to take you to the Table of Lost Grace at the Round Table Hold. Once you're at the Round Table Hold, you will take the Remembrance of the Grafted, which you got for defeating Godric the Grafted. You'll bring it up here to Enya, and you will receive Power from Remembrance. And then you'll have the option to swap it out or trade it for the Grafted Dragon, and that's how you get this weapon. So like I said, unfortunately, this fist weapon does not have the ability to go into two-handed mode like the other ones do, but you can dual-wield it. And using it has all of the standard attacks. It feels weird hitting someone with what appears to be a stuffed dragon, but you can do it, see? And it hits decently hard, deals flame damage. It can be, like, for a brawling weapon, again, this can be a decent weapon, deals quite a bit of damage. So, there's not really any playstyle that I would say it is particularly bad against, but, it does feel weird punching people with dragons. But again, where we're going to see something actually special is going to be from our weapon ability. So it deals a decent amount of damage if you hit the person with it, which I have failed to do so far. Okay, there we go. And also shatters down a whole bunch of flame balls that light a bunch of the ground on fire and will deal damage to anyone that falls on them. So I'll show it against someone that I'm a little closer to. There we go. So like I said, quite a bit of damage initially, and then also you can see it deals damage outside of that. And then again, obviously, your dual wielding is just going to be rapid fire punching, dealing, you know, all the damage that you'd expect out of fist type weapons made out of tiny little stuffed dragons. Solid weapon, I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, definitely pretty unique playstyle, I would say. Maybe role-playing as Godric the Grafted, but a lot of fun to use and very, very powerful weapons in their own right. But that's all for today, so we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.